price of freedom comes high. I have paid, but I am free.
Our desire was very mindful of the fact that there are many, many wonderful documentaries about Muhammad Ali, but none of them we felt were comprehensive in the kind of work that we like to do. It begins with his birth and childhood in segregated Jim Crow, Louisville, Kentucky, and ends 8 hours later with his death from Parkinson's not that long ago, 5 years ago in 2016. And we were interested in not just following the boxing part, but we also want to understand his personal life. But we also want to know about the wives and children and the difficulties there. This is a journey of faith. He happens to be the greatest athlete of the 20th century, perhaps the greatest athlete of all times. And so we're drawn to him, but it's also about freedom without losing contact with that blackness and the beauty of it. This is a story about courage. This guy sacrificed 3.5 years of the height of his professional life because he refused to induction into the army. And he would have, he wouldn't have been put in combat. He knew that. He'd go to do USO shows and he'd spar with people and pose for photographs. But he said, no, my faith doesn't permit it. And it's an incredibly courageous decision, not just for himself, but for his people and oppressed people around the world.
Even if it means facing machine gun fire that day, I will face it before denouncing Elijah Muhammad and the religion of Islam. I'm ready to die.
Anybody now faced with a major decision in which the right way is clear and the wrong way is clear, but the consequences are dire, now they have a model.
He's hugely influential because of this idea of wanting freedom, of not compromising, of being courageous, but also being about love. At the very end of the film, we go to a woman clearly at a protest on the Brooklyn Bridge. All she needed to bring to that protest, just that statement, just those 2 words, Muhammad Ali.
I'm here and I'm showing the world that you can be here and still free and stay yourself and get respect from the world.
So when the Supreme Court unanimously on a technicality liberates him from his 5-year jail sentence for refusing the draft, somebody sticks a microphone into Muhammad Ali's face and asks him what he thinks about the system. He was very sober and reflective, and he said, I don't know who's going to be assassinated tonight. He's thinking back 350 years through all the treatment of black people on this continent. He's thinking about Emmett Till, and he's thinking ahead to people we don't yet know, to, Rodney King and Trayvon Martin and Tamir Rice and Michael Brown and Breonna Taylor and George Floyd. And unfortunately, that list could go on and on and on for hours and hours and hours. And he knew that. People go for all the wonderful poetry that makes him so charismatic, but we miss these points of wisdom early on in his life where he knew he was destined for something. He said, service to others is the rent you pay for your room in heaven. And he's got a big room.